No, it's not that. It's the fact that we're a much better team than we were years ago. I think it's easier when it's easier for United fans to be happy with an FA Cup because your team has regressed. Arsenal's team is getting better. Why would we still want the same things that we are winning when our team was much worse?
Because at the same time, you could. It's not just winning the FA Cup. It's beating Arsenal on the way there. It's beating Liverpool on the way.
Man,
beating Man City at the final.
That's a small club mentality, like
Okay,
or small mind mentality. Arsenal have progressed so much more than that. To not have that expectation of winning the league, it's crazy. Yes. Good morning, good evening, whatever time you're watching this episode of Love of the Game, episode 24. I'm here with Gbengz and Pedro. How are you guys doing today, man?
Good, man. I'm
doing well, man. How are you?
I'm glad.
So, obviously Manny he might be joining us later. I think he's got emergency daddy duties. So I guess Gbengz is the only one I understand what Manny's going through because
I've got nephews.
I got nephews too, but but I just want. They're like, that's for another pod, anyways. Our Gbengz just dropped off.
That's cancelled, bro.
No.
I know his battery died. I know his battery died.
No, he's back.
This guy's crazy.
It just said reconnecting.
Okay, we're back now. Okay, cool. Let's just quickly get to the game, anyways. We had a very interesting, local derby game between Arsenal and London Man United on Sunday. 1-0. Gbengz, we'll go to you since you're the home team. Tell us your thoughts on the game, how it went for you overall, and your key takeaways from the game at Old Trafford.
So starting off, I think we said last week, me and Manny did our lineup predictions. He had Højlund in, I had Højlund out, but I had Obi starting. No one would have thought that we would start with Bruno, Casemiro, and Eriksen, which was very interesting. And you could see in parts of the game that we just didn't have, we didn't win that midfield battle initially. And you guys were pretty dominant. But I think we grew into the game. We had that great free kick. Anything can happen when Bruno's at the end of a ball. And I think I saw a stat that he scored or assisted 40% of the goals for us this season. And like the second person who's got more goal involvements for their team is on like 30-something%. So I think that was Cliver as well for Bournemouth. So yeah, man. I thought it was a good game. Not like quality wise. I just thought for us it was a good game. Like we got a result. We're playing the second best team in England, and we showed that we can actually play. Like we can actually.
Why did you say in England?
What's wrong with saying that?
Okay, you made it sound like if you say the league or in England makes it sound like it's better.
I don't know why I said England. But yeah, second best team in the league. And yeah, I think we held our own, to be honest. We were quite solid defensively. Aiden Heaven, amazing. That's a talent right there. De Ligt played well. Yoro played well when he was on. Lindelof, strange guy. I don't know how he's still there, but he put a shift in, even though he did some skunky things. And yeah, man, it was a weird game, innit? But I liked it. I liked the result. I still think we could have nicked it in the end, as you guys have seen. Obviously, looking back at the highlights and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, man, it's okay game. You guys, there was nothing on the line. You weren't going to win the league by beating us, and we're not really going to rise up the table that much. So it was more so bragging rights, and we share the points, and that's it, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. Very, very true on most points there. Pedro, goes to you. What's your thoughts on the game overall?
We just didn't really create. We dominated possession, but weren't really penetrative. Like, we didn't create many chances in the first half. United had better chances. They grew into the game in the second half, and yeah, we're just lacking some key members of the squad, and yeah, we just didn't look like we didn't look like we were going to score for a long period of time. It was just side to side, nothing penetrative, nothing. No one was being brave. Everyone was playing quite safely, if I'm honest. And yeah, I think the result is fair. I think United could have won it. But yeah, here we are.
Yeah, here we are. One of the players I want to talk about, actually, on both sides anyways, I think it'll be interesting to talk about them, is Bruno Fernandes and also Martin Odegaard. Just looking to their performance solely on that game, not this season, because I think that's a different question. What was your thoughts on both of their performances? We can start with Martin Odegaard.
Is this gonna load, Tim? Because Ben's keeps coming in and out.
Yeah, it will load. Yeah, it will load. It will load.
Yeah?
Yeah, it will load. I'll just see how it goes. I'll just have to see how this episode goes, basically.
Jesus Christ. Odegaard. I mean, he was there. He was present. I think two things. I don't know if he's playing with the most confidence at the moment. I thought after the PSV game, he will be more confident. I mean, he kept things ticking over, but yeah, it was just not. It just didn't feel like there was any penetrative passes, and it did feel very safe from him a lot of the times. So yeah, he doesn't. He definitely lacks runners in front of him. But yeah, man, I think we really struggle when teams play a low block against us. We struggle.
Yeah,
we don't look like we're gonna score.
Yeah, that seems to be a main theme. When we play low block. Gbengz, are you there?
I'm back, yeah, but it's
yeah. Oh, this is gonky.
You didn't pay your bill this month.
Where to your bills? Yeah, I want to talk on Fernandes. I thought he had an interesting game, to be fair. I thought because United was so non-existent in the first half, I feel like it just took a moment of magic from Bruno Fernandes on that free kick, and suddenly the whole game has probably potentially changed, because I didn't think Arsenal, it highlighted more that Arsenal were going to struggle to get back into the game or even score a goal for that whole game anyways. But just for the fact that Fernandes got that free kick and scored it, it put a lot more pressure on Arsenal to try and get an equaliser or get a goal from somewhere. I don't think Ben's able to answer the question, but Pedro, what do you think of Bruno Fernandes' performance throughout the game that you watched?
So, He's a moments guy. He's a moments guy, man.
That's it.
And that's what I like about him. Like Odegaard, he's involved in all the play, a lot of the play. Obviously, he ruined some. He's been ruining some play sometimes recently. Yeah, but yeah, Bruno. He's a moments guy. He's gonna get you the goals. He's gonna be on the end of the set piece. He's gonna put some good crosses or corners in, put some good balls in from free kicks, get some shots on target rather. And that's honestly, he's a player that you need. Like, I would love to see him in a United team that has a few more creative players in the middle of the park, so he doesn't have to. He's not reliant. We're not relying on him to help out in those moments. But yeah, man, you have to appreciate what he's doing, man. Like, you just have, like, whether it's pretty or not, it's effective, and it's getting us points on the board, it's getting us goals in the back of the net. And you know, that's what the aim of the game is. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I agree. Just to touch on that, because I feel like obviously United team has digressed. And I think when he signed, I think United had a really good team. So you had a lot of creators there. So I think you kind of saw what potentially Bruno can do.
Yeah.
So do you feel like with that I think you had like Pogba, Martial, Rashford. There was a lot of options in terms of creativity, so it's not always left on Bruno. Basically, is that something kind of you're looking for again potentially in the near future, or in the transfer windows?
Yeah, for sure. I just don't really know. I don't know how it's going to work. Basically, I assume, and this is just an assumption, that Ruben's going to want two new number 10s to go behind that striker, whether that's Højlund or Gyökeres or whoever it is. And I think he'd probably really want Bruno in the 8 with someone else. So if those two number 10s are creative and obviously they work as well and they defend from the front, then I think that's probably the best option, as opposed to having Bruno as a number 10 in the future, or one of the two number 10s. So yeah, it'll be interesting. That's what I want, though. I do want more creative players around him, of course. Some good win backs so he can, play some balls into, get some crosses in the box. But we'll see how it goes, man. It's a bit. We all saw that interview with Ratcliffe, so I don't know.
I got a question,
bro, baby. I think I actually think that Fernandes is wasting his best years at United.
I mean, you can say that, but he has, in terms of wasting his best years, he's established himself as one of the top midfielders in the league. He's got great stats. He's won 2 FA Cups.
Yeah, but with his returns, he should not be playing for a team that are bottom half of the table.
You're right, but it's like, if he ends up playing for instance, in the English league, we are like top. We're basically the best team in the league. Like we're looking history wise, right? So coming to United made sense, right? And he was obviously bring us back. If he was to leave, like where's he going? That's my thing. Like what's he gonna do?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, there's a lot of better teams that he could go to. I just don't think a lot of teams will be able to afford his wages.
But where would he go that you think he's going to play? Because he ain't starting at Real Madrid. He ain't starting.
What if money wasn't an issue?
Yeah.
Chelsea. I always think Chelsea, because Chelsea would have made that kind of.
Chelsea would have been.
They would need a player like him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Chelsea would be a good one. Chelsea, they're struggling right now.
They are struggling. They're in the top 4, but like
Barca.
I don't even think he'd.
I don't think the way he plays suits it.
Yeah,
but I think he will change his game, though.
Yeah, that's how I feel. So that's why I'm like, and to be fair, he probably can change his game if we're being honest, because he is an intelligent player. But yeah, I feel like Man United is the right place for him. He's made himself like, he wasn't really like a name that people were searching for before. Obviously he was a good player at Sporting, but he wasn't like.
How old is he now?
He's 32.
Yeah. No.
I could be. Oh, I've got a thingy there. Let me just check.
I'm bad with.
Bruno Fernandes is.
I would say he's 30.
He is
30. Yeah, he's 30.
He's 30. So, my bad. Yeah, he's still got time. He's got like another 3-4 years, I would say, from Bruno. Even more potentially, the way he plays.
Fit, so yeah, exactly. I'd expect him to play for a while. But yeah, I feel like he's at the right place, to be honest with you.
Cool. Okay, I've got a question for each of you, but it's separate anyway. So I'll ask you a Pedro question about Arsenal. Then Ben will ask you a question about United. But I'll go to you, Pedro, first. Yeah. Looking at Arteta overall, where's your head at with Arteta now? I think it's going to be his 4th season. I think 5th season. Sorry, this is phase 5. This is phase 5. This is phase 5 now. Potentially not winning the league. Champions League is very unlikely, but we'll see what happens. You never know. And seeing how this season panned out, it's potentially a waste of a season. Where are you overall with Arteta?
I feel sorry for him, man. I do feel sorry for him. I'm still not like, the thing is, I think the reality is, the first thing I'll say is that who do we get? Even if we were to get rid of him, I think it would be foolish to get rid of him. But who do we get? That's number one. Number two. Jesus.
No, please. He wasn't there.
He might do a better job now that Arteta has done all the hard work in getting the Eagles out, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know who we get, even in the instance that we were, but like from where he's brought us to where he's taken us, like I think you can't deny that he's been very unfortunate this season with the injuries. But yeah, I think this summer is very pivotal. We've got to make some attacking signings. He's got to, I don't know, in my mind, I'm thinking surely he must be able to see even Martinelli. Like, I don't think he's good enough. Like, and he must be able to see that. I think he's a good squad player, but with the way he's played in the last 2 years, obviously the season before he was amazing, but the way he's played in the last 2 years just hasn't been the old Martinelli. It looks like he lacks confidence. So for me, this summer's going to be pivotal. We have to win some. We have to start winning silverware. And when I say silverware, I'm not talking the Capital One Cup, the Carabao Cup, whatever you want to call it these days. We need to win the league. Like, there's no two ways about it. We need to win the league.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think the league might be too ambitious and you should just go for a nice cup? Like, you're playing well consistently, but to win the league, it doesn't feel like you have whether it's luck, whether it's just the circumstances, whether it's the squad to keep fit, whether it's the fact that the teams that are going for the league just seem to have the characters that have won a league before and know how to get through a 38-game season. Do you feel like maybe it's maybe the fact that you're setting your sights on the league is you're maybe a few years away from doing that? Like, maybe you should just maybe focus on having good performances, come in second, which is very respectable. Let's be honest. That's very respectable in the league to come second 3 times in a row. And then just, at least if you had some trophies every year with that, you wouldn't be complaining, I don't think.
I'm tired of the FA Cup. We've won it enough, bro. Like, it's boring.
That's not true, Pedro, because you would take it every year. Every team would take it every year.
I would not take the FA Cup every year. I'd rather win the league. I'll be so honest.
Yeah, but you're saying you'd rather, but you don't seem to have the capacity to. So why not?
I don't see why you say that. We've been last year. We are 1 point off. The year before. The year before, we were a couple of points off. I don't see how you can say
that's a difference between winning it and not. That's not all I'm saying to you. Is like, whether you call it luck.
But if someone's 1 point off, how can you say it's too ambitious when you're 1 point off? Yeah, that doesn't make sense. If someone was,
I didn't say too ambitious. Yeah, I don't know where you got that from.
What did you say? What were your words then?
I said you might not have the capacity to, whether it's because of the luck.
You did say our ambitions are too high. That's what you did say.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, fair. I didn't think you ambitious.
I'll check the tapes, but it's fine.
Okay, so if someone is finishing, if we are finishing 5th every season, would you or if we finish 1 point off 5th the season before, and then the season before we are a couple of points off 5th, would you say top 4 is too ambitious, or our ambitions are too high? That's crazy. No, you wouldn't say that.
But what I'm trying to say to you is, like, what makes you guys? It's in the sense that it's almost like expectations versus reality, right? If you set expectations high and you don't meet them, you feel like you guys sound like you sound now, where you feel like you've had or you feel like the season's just been a waste, and you're all talking about, not you guys, but some people are like, Arteta is not the guy, he's never going to win it for us. All of this stuff. That's the sentiment. But if it's really that, let's really get some consistency in performances and do what we've done, which is amazing. 3 years on the bounce, coming second, where we've I think you guys had the most points for a calendar year. Was it 2024 or 2023, whatever it was? Like, but if you had that in addition with a cup here, FA Cup here, Europa League here, or a Champions League final here, or a Carabao Cup here, that makes a difference, in my opinion. That makes you, this period when you're at the best you've been for, I don't know, 15 years, let's call it, like, that makes this period a bit better. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I don't think it does, man. Like, no one cares about the FA Cup no more, man.
But you're lying to yourself, bro. No
one cares. And I don't think people cared about it for the time. When Arsenal were winning the FA Cup, everyone was saying no one cares about it.
That's because it was Arsenal and guys hate Arsenal. It's not because we didn't care. Nobody cared. It's because
it doesn't, to me, anyways, I'm just going to speak from my perspective. Like, it's not enough. The FA Cup is not enough.
Hear this, yeah. Man United fans were saying to Arsenal fans, bro, you lot won the FA Cup, what, twice, 2 years in a bounce? Or was it 3 years in a bounce? I can't remember what it was.
2 years, then
2 years.
Then, well, three. We won 3.
You won 3.
There was one time I think someone else won 1.
And everyone was like, "Oh, you guys have won the FA Cup, but you're not finishing in the top 4." Whatever you was finishing, like everyone, that was the sentiment. Then them saying United fans like me would won the FA Cup, and we were happy, bro. Like we were gassed. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's a sentiment that you're getting from other fans that's making you feel like that thing is not enough.
No, it's not that. It's the fact that we're a much better team than we were years ago. I think it's easier when it's easier for United fans to be happy with a FA Cup because your team has regressed. Arsenal's team is getting better. Why would we still want the same things that we are winning when our team was much worse?
Because at the same time, you could. It's not just winning the FA Cup. It's beating Arsenal on the way there. It's beating Liverpool on the way.
Man, that's a small club mentality, like or small mind mentality. Arsenal have progressed so much more than that. To not have that expectation of winning the league, it's crazy.
We're still here. You guys are upset. You get frustrated. You take it out on the manager. You take it out on the players. AFT TV views spike up because of the attitude that you guys have, and
that's fans. That's fans for you, isn't it? But yeah,
all fans. You guys have that gene, and it's in all of you. I don't understand. That gene is stuck in your DNA.
I think it's most fans, to be honest.
No, because the proof's in the pudding. You see, look at United. We haven't won the league in 12 years, or I don't even know how many years it was. But like, we're complaining about the flipping tickets of the games and the flipping the state of the finances and the state of the stadium, and then we'll be happy celebrating that we won an FA Cup. Like that's like, bro, like
that's because that's where you are.
But that's what I'm trying to say. It's different. We're not in the same place. Yes,
that's where you are. Like if you guys now have the mentality of flipping Everton, that's up to you guys.
Yeah, but see, you're saying Everton, but when's the last time Everton won an FA Cup or got to a final? Like, what are you talking about,
bro? The mentality of finishing in the bottom half and being okay with a cup.
That's not what I'm saying, though. That's why I feel like the Arsenal pack. You're not. It just doesn't come in your head. I didn't say that.
What are you? Explain what you're saying.
I said that.
Well, we'll take final thoughts from both of you. And I've got a question for you, Gbengz. It's on United.
I said
final thoughts, guys.
Yeah, I said very clearly. If you guys won a couple of cups, whilst coming second 3 times in a row, losing the title 3 times in a row, then that would be more palatable than it is now, and you guys wouldn't be complaining as much as you are.
Palatable to who?
To your fans.
It won't be.
You'd be able to at least say that, yeah, we won a title, we beat Man City in the final, we beat Man United in the final, we beat Liverpool in the final, we beat whoever else.
It won't be more palatable.
And that's what the issue is, because
I don't think there should be an issue for Arsenal fans where we are. Arsenal fans who have been in the position where we've been in the last few years to win the league.
You're not good enough to win the league. Okay. 3 years have taught you that. You've had your best squads. You have excuses. We lost my man. We lost this guy. We lost this guy. Yes, everyone loses people. Maybe yours is more. Yours might hurt more because you've done the wrong things. You haven't replaced certain players. You haven't allowed certain players to rest. You haven't bought the right players for positions. So it's at some point it can't just always be we're 1 point away. We really could have won it. You didn't.
I think because other teams have been better than us. Yeah, so we need to improve our squad. That's what I've said, and that's what I said in the initial thing. I said we have a big summer ahead of us. We need to improve our squad. That's the reality.
You do. And with the squad that you have that needs improving, you would have felt better. Well, you should have felt better. And this is what I'm actually saying. Actually, you should have felt better because you should have the attitude to be a bit grateful for winning a cup.
No, I'll leave with this. No, I don't care about the FA Cup.
That's fine.
That's where I'm at.
Okay, we'll get to. That's very interesting. We'll see what the summer holds. I think it's what you guys are saying is both are kind of right in some senses. I think it's important to see what Arsenal do in the summer or in the next season to see whose point stands more, basically, at the end of it. We'll go over to you, Gbengz. I don't know if you managed to catch that Jim Ratcliffe interview. I did. I watched it. It was very interesting. Very interesting. I thought I don't like Gary Neville, but I thought he did a good job in the first half of interrogating him. I was really getting it out of him. One thing that stood to me is the players that he actually mentioned. Some players, which was crazy. He said, like, these are not my players. Like, we're just gonna finish paying for Anthony. We're gonna finish paying for Onana, Højlund. What's your thoughts on all of that? Because boy, he was almost spilling the tea.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah. We're in the era of like all the Twitter accounts tweeting stuff, and then like these correspondents and these news journalists and all this stuff. I love when you just hear the truth straight from whoever's in charge. Like, I love that stuff. So I loved it, and I actually think he was quite naive to say what he was saying, to be honest, because he should know that's going to get ripped into shreds by every pundit and every for the next 4 or 5 years. That's going to be like something that they bring up, whether these players do something good or bad. So that was quite naive, but I loved it. So I appreciated it to hear that. I appreciated all the other bits of honesty that he dropped. But then you've got to think about at the same time, he thought in his head, I'm going to say all this truth. I'm going to be honest because these guys are already attacking me on top of or lumping me in with the Glazers, even though I provided some capital into the club. And then I'm going to announce the next day that we got this new massive stadium.
I think that's why he did it, because of the stadium.
Yeah, exactly. So he thought that was going to come, and it slightly has. A lot of the talk has been more about the stadium today than he left it for a couple of days, then it would have been bad. But I like the honesty, to be honest. I appreciate it.
One thing he said was interesting, actually. He was talking about how United squad is like, look at the bench. We've got so many youngsters, and all our players, our key players, are out injured. And if you think about those key players, they're on high wages. So you kind of use the barometer of the wages as how good United's team is, and you say that essentially all our assets are injured. Yeah, which is fair thing to say. But I think what thing he forgot about is looking at the league. Nottingham Forest, who are third, they're doing brilliantly. They probably has the same wage bracket of United team that's in the starting 11 right now currently. So I think he better be careful. Yeah,
because he mentioned Nottingham Forest, and he mentioned like the wage bill comparing to Man City and Liverpool, and then if you're looking at the league and you look at some of like Bournemouth had so many injuries, and look at what they're doing. So yes, he like, in as much as he's right, there's also examples to negate what he's saying. So yeah, I guess, but then at the same time, every club is different, isn't it? Like Man United probably need good players on good wages to be good, whereas at Nottingham Forest or Bournemouth don't need good players on good wages to be good because the expectation is way less. Each club in its own right, I would say.
Fair enough. And just one final question on there, because I think what he did, which was quite good, he kind of really backed Amarin. He was like, look, Amarin's the guy. I'm backing him all the way. I think he's doing well with what he has. Some would think differently. But what are your thoughts? Do you agree with what's his name, Jim Ratcliffe?
Yeah, I actually with Darian, he tried to get it out of him, but he didn't. So when Jim said he really thinks Amarin's done well, Gary said, really? Do you? And he didn't hone in on that a bit more, because if he did, he would have told him, like, these are the results. Like, this, like, he's how many games, and he's won 10, he's lost 11, or whatever the numbers are. And yeah, I think I do think Amarin's the right guy, but I don't think this season would be able to tell you that. That makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I guess I go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that makes sense, because maybe Jim Ratcliffe's thinking long term in terms of the background noise. Everything looks kind of calming now.
Yeah.
The results are going to be the results because of the players and what they have. So hopefully, I'm hoping for like a big summer for United. Well, I don't know how, but it's going to be a big summer for United in terms of clearing out, I think, to make money, and maybe get some school free packed lunches for the staff.
Gary Neville's even giving him ideas on how to raise money.
That is crazy, and he's just like, that's a good idea.
It's crazy. It's
absolutely crazy. Pedro, I'll leave you final thoughts, guys. I think we want to close off now. Anything you want to add to the United part?
I hope United win the FA Cup this season.
We're out, by the way.
Well, Europa League. I guess
The
it
Europa
is.
League.
Yes, but yeah, that is it from Love of the Game. It's been quite a turbulent episode, just like our seasons. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back next week. Peace.